evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? This is Sherman Manning, joining you live from Los Angeles, California. Listen, I don't know where this is being aired. Don't really care. That's not my responsibility. That's not my assignment. My assignment is not to deal with who hears this or how you hear it on what vehicle or channel they're using to make sure that you hear this. But my only responsibility is to talk, to talk, to talk about the issues that are important to me, to talk about the issues that I think are important to you, and to try to, in some sense, uh, elucidate some of the issues with which we are faced as a country at this particular juncture in time. And let me tell you that a lot of this stuff was predicted by me, and a lot of this stuff was predicted by others. The stuff that we are witnessing as we witness seemingly our government go up in flames, if you will, before our very eyes. Some of the stuff is quite frankly unconscionable, and you wonder how anybody, any rational minded earthling with the slightest amount of intelligence would be doing some of the stuff and making some of the rookie mistakes that Donald and his team are making. I have said all along, and shall continue to say and believe, that, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I think that, quite frankly, it is very, very difficult to impeach a president in the United States of America. I mean, count the times that it has happened. Somebody call me and tell me. I don't have the number off the top of my head. I can only think of one in my lifetime, quite frankly, Nixon. And I was a boy then when that happened. But, we don't impeach presidents in this country. It's just not something that happens on a daily basis. And it will take a monumental act in some sense, if you will, to get that to happen now. So I'm not one of these kind of guys who's going to bull crap myself and pretend like, oh, he's going to be impeached. He probably won't, if we're going to be intelligent and if we're going to be honest and not just engage in wishful thinking. Donald probably will not be impeached. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I will admit that the more I see, the more I hear, and the more I think about Russia and its alignment with the Trump campaign, and the more I see the foolishness. See, some of what Donald does, as I said, is asinine. Anybody in their right mind knows that you don't challenge the intelligence community. No new president. You didn't see Obama do it. All the hope and change that he talked about, and I'm not poo-pooing it because I think Obama was the greatest president this country has ever seen. So having said that, okay, against that backdrop, Obama was not an idiot. All the hope and CHANGE that he talked about, you never heard him talking about how bad or how horrible or ineffective the intelligence community was. He didn't criticize it. When when the Secret Service was screwing up and making mistakes and risking his life, basically, you still couldn't get him to criticize them publicly. And I always said it would have taken a fool to criticize them publicly. You got people who are guarding your life and the life of your wife and children, and you're going to go public and say, oh, they're no good, we should fire them, they're scam, whatever. That's not pragmatic. And if Obama was anything, he was a pragmatic man. Quite frankly, I learned a lot watching him. I really did. I learned a lot about countenance. I learned a lot about carriage. I learned a lot about temperament just watching this fascinating and amazing man lead this country through some of the toughest trials in the throes of the struggle that this country has ever been a part of. And he was a smart man. and not want to tell you how smart he was. He just did what he did and allowed you to make the calculations afterward. The guy we have now routinely tells you how brilliant he is, how brilliant he believes himself to be. But you see these rookie mistakes after rookie mistake after rookie mistake after rookie mistake. So let's go back to Russia. At worst, Donald himself talked with Putin during the campaign and lied about it. More probable, if you ask me, I believe that top campaign officials with the Donald campaign were actually in cahoots and in conversation with senior officials of Putin, talking about the hacking and voter suppression and propaganda campaign that Russia was doing to try to ensure that Hillary lost the election. I think the CIA knows it. And since Donald is foolish enough to criticize the CIA, I think that that lack of loyalty is going to cause someone to crack. Someone's going to leak the information. If the information is leaked, he will be impeached. That's it in a nutshell. Michael Flynn having the audacity, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to get on to get on a phone call and promise while Obama's still in office that, hey, as soon as we're in office, Putin, we're going to relinquish, drop, abort all of our sanctions against you. You don't have anything to worry about. You know, that sort of goes along and fits the same vein of the kind of stuff that Donald does. So there's nothing surprising about that. And Donald knew about this 3 weeks ago. He was briefed on it, and he waited until this week to make it an issue because he found out that it had been leaked to the press and the American public will find out about it. And caught in the cookies, y'all. Look, I'm Sherman D. Manning. We're going to be beginning rallies and services against the Trump machine and the Trump hatred, etc., at a new church. The name is Greater New Vision Worship Center. Greater New Vision Worship Center. We will start worshiping, having Bible studies, think tanks, rallies, and things of that nature. Things of that nature coming very soon, probably 1 month from now. We were going to call it Greater Hope and Change. For logistical and technical reasons, we're not going to use that name. The name is going to be Greater New Vision Worship Center, pastored by none other than Sherman, okay? So tell all of your friends to look for it, tell them to talk about it, tell them let's get together, let's do this. We need them. We want to bless them. We want to be a blessing to their lives. Look, keep the faith. God bless you. Go get my book, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. Get my book, Creating Monsters. Get my book, Kids Killing Kids, and let me know if those books are a blessing to you and your family. Sherman D. Manning. You can email me at shermandmanning@gmail.com. shermandmanning@gmail.com. SHERMANDMANNING at gmail.com. God bless you. Keep the faith.